Hello, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone. Okay, you've survived the entire second half of the year, and today is now the first day of holidays. So, thankfully, everybody can take a breather. Okay, so you have done your trial exams, and today now everybody is, I'm sure, very happy that you have your holidays. Okay, but the holidays is not here just for you to relax and watch TV or play computer games. But I hope that you will be using this time to revise your subjects. Okay, not just biology, but all the subjects that you need to ace. Okay, in order to get good results for your SPM. Okay, today I'm going to go through revise a topic called nitrogen cycle. Okay, so a lot of students find nitrogen cycle quite difficult because there are many processes in your nitrogen cycle, and actually there are certain names that you have to memorize. Okay, especially the name of the bacteria, which is important in the process of nitrification and all the processes that forms nitrate and also ammonium. All right, so today I would like to give you a little bit of guidance on how to remember. Especially you need to understand the entire process. Okay, what actually happens and which are the ones that are important for biology. Okay, so let me share my slide now. All right, okay, I hope you can see this. Okay, right, so with me today, I don't see anyone yet. Okay, but it's all right. Maybe you are not free now, you would like to watch it later. Okay, first of all right, sorry, let me look at my slide again. Where is my slide? Okay, right. So okay, so that is my slide, nitrogen cycle. Whenever you see this, why you call it a cycle? Cycle means that there is a continuous conversion of one substance into another substance and also back to that substance. So it is a full cycle. It's a full cycle, all right? Okay, so let me go to the first slide. Okay, why is it important for us to learn nitrogen? Why do we need to learn about nitrogen? What is the importance of nitrogen? Okay, as you know, nitrogen is one of the elements which are very essential. Actually, it is very essential, very important, because without nitrogen, actually you cannot form protein. Okay, because you have learned in chapter 3 on nutrition. Okay, nitrogen is one of the elements which are needed. It is a macronutrient. It is needed for the formation of protein, nucleic acid, and so many other substances that is needed for the physiological processes of plant and also animals. All right, so it's very important that you have nitrogen, because if you do not have nitrogen, you cannot form protein. You also cannot form nucleic acid, which is important, like your DNA and your RNA. These are nucleic acids. Okay. So if you recall your molecule of this amino acid molecule, in the amino group, the amino acid molecule there are actually three parts of it. Yeah. So one is a carboxylate, and then the amino group here, there is the NH2. So it contains the nitrogen. So without nitrogen, you cannot form amino acid. And if you cannot form amino acid, that means you cannot make protein. All right, okay? So it's very important because protein is the building block of life. All cells contain protein, okay, as we know of lah. Okay, now nitrogen is found in abundance in the atmospheric air. So there is a lot of nitrogen around us actually. The air that we breathe in. Okay, we have, if you recall your Form 1 lesson, in fact in your Form 1, okay, you have also learned the content of atmospheric air. Air contains at least, right, around 3/4 of the entire what they call the volume of atmospheric air is actually made up of nitrogen. So it's actually 78%. So our air is full of nitrogen gas actually, but this is in gaseous form. Gaseous form meaning in N2. Okay, like this is a molecule. Okay, covalent bond in between your nitrogen and your nitrogen. So this is nitrogen gas. So that means there shouldn't be a problem, right? Because there's so much of nitrogen in the air. It shouldn't be a problem. Why is it so essential that we need to learn about the nitrogen cycle? Okay, because it is, unfortunately, many plants, okay, including, plants and also animals, yeah, we are unable to utilize this. We are unable to use, take the nitrogen in the form of gas, N2, right, and convert or use it to make amino acid. We are unable to use the nitrogen in the form of gaseous state to change it to become amino acid. So we can't do it. We simply can't do it. So that means this nitrogen has to be converted into something else before we can use it to form protein or nucleic acid. Okay, so actually plants are only able to synthesize or to make or produce amino acid only if the nitrogen has been converted into ammonium ions, which is NH4 positive, right? NH4 positive, and nitrate ions, which is NO3 minus. So these ammonium ions and nitrate ions, they are actually being converted from nitrogen gas in a gaseous state, yeah, and it's found in the soil. So who does the job? Who does the job of converting the nitrogen in the form of elemental form, which is gaseous gas, into ammonium ions? So actually, we rely on a few types of bacteria, which is very, very important. They are found in the soil. So today we are going to look at the role of this type of bacteria in the soil in the process of converting nitrogen in the gaseous state into this compound form, which is ammonium ions and nitric ions, which can be utilized by the plant, absorbed by the roots, and it will use that to make protein, or rather make amino acid first and then later protein. Okay, so that's why we need to learn what are the actual processes that are in the nitrogen cycle. How is this nitrogen gas converted into a very important compound, which is ammonium and also nitric ions. Okay, all right, so let's actually, you will see that many of the books, all right, many of the diagrams that you find on internet and everything, you have a lot of arrows pointing here and there, right? It's quite complicated. It looks complicated actually, but it's not really complicated. If you break it down, okay, I'll break it down to you. There are actually 6 different processes that are in the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so let's start with the overall picture. I want you to look at the overall picture, yeah? What are the 6 types of processes that is in the nitrogen cycle? Okay, first of all, okay, let's start with atmospheric nitrogen. This is nitrogen in the form of gas, N2, okay? And then let's look at the nitrate. Nitrate is NO3 minus. This is the form of nitrogen which can be absorbed by the plant, that can be utilized by the plant to produce amino acid and therefore to produce protein. So that means we must convert the nitrogen form, N2 form, into nitrate form. Okay, how is it done? Plants can't do it. Okay, the green plants can't do it. So you need to rely on a few types of bacteria and also some natural processes. So I'm going to go through one by one, right? I will tell you which is important for biology. Okay, there are 6 processes here. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6 is important in what we learn about biology. So 1 and 2, it's more of the conversion, but it's not under the scope of biology. Okay, we'll look at it now. Okay, now first one, number 1. All right, I'll label this as number 1. This is actually a natural process which is carried out by lightning. Lightning, lightning strikes. Yeah? When there's a thunderstorm, lightning strikes. So you will have lightning, which you have thousands of millions of kilovolts of energy, okay, from the lightning. So there's a lot of energy there in the air, and that energy is huge enough, that is strong enough. It can combine nitrogen with oxygen in the air, and that forms a compound, right? A few types of compounds, and that later at the end actually it will be converted into nitrate. So this lightning actually helps to convert nitrogen to nitrate. Later I will give you the details. Right now I just want to give you the overall picture. Okay, this is called atmospheric fixation. Fixation means converting it from a free form, nitrogen gas, into a compound form. That is called fixation. Okay, now we go to the second process. The second process here is a man-made process. It's not natural, it's man-made, discovered by a scientist by the name of Fritz Haber. Okay, so this Fritz Haber, he found that there's a way of making ammonia. By combining nitrogen and hydrogen, he's able to make ammonia. I'm sure you learned that in chemistry. Okay, NH2 and then hydrogen is H2. You combine, you get NH3, which is ammonia. And this ammonia is produced to make fertilizer. So by making ammonia, actually it can be converted to become fertilizer, and that enriches the soil. So it's something like, you are also making nitrate at the same time. Nitrate is fertilizer. Nitrate is a compound that is needed by plants to grow healthily, to grow very well. Okay, the plant needs nitrate. Okay, now this is called nitrogen fixation. Okay, so this number 1 and number 2 is not actually done by organisms or done by bacteria. So it's not really in the scope of biology. But it is also interesting enough for you to know that these are the things that can also change the nitrogen into nitrate. Okay, now we go into biology. All right, when you answer questions on nitrogen cycle, you must talk about 3, 4, 5, and 6 process. Process number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Number 1 and 2, you may not need to, because it's not in the scope of biology. This is natural. Lightning is, you learn about physics and all that. That is under the physics, right? And number 2, this is chemistry. Okay, converting or making ammonia from hydrogen and nitrogen. That's chemistry. So now we go to number 3. Okay, this is biology because it involves the role of bacteria, involves the role of living cells. Okay, number 3. This is a process of converting nitrogen in the gaseous form to ammonium. Okay, NH4 positive. That is an ion. This is a compound. So, and then later you have ammonium being converted into nitrite, NO2 minus. Okay, and then nitrite later undergoes further conversion. All right, undergoes further change, or it is converted to become nitrate. So from nitrogen gas to ammonium to nitrite to nitrate. Okay. Now these processes, all right, is called, the first one from nitrogen gas to ammonium is called nitrogen fixation, and subsequently, ammonium converted into nitrite is nitrification, and then nitrite into nitrate is nitrification. Okay, so you just look at the overall view first. Later, I'll give you the details where you need that to write your answers. Okay, so this is an overall picture. Okay, now your nitrate is in the soil. All right, your nitrate will be absorbed by the plants. Okay, so now we look at the process number 4. This is assimilation, or absorbing. The plant is absorbing the nitrate to be used by the plant to make protein, to produce amino acid to make protein and so on. Okay, so this is, and also when a plant is eaten by animals, this nitrate, which is used to make protein, the protein in a plant, will be transferred into the animal when the animal eats the plant. Okay, so protein in the plant will be converted or transferred into the protein of animals when the cow eats the grass. Okay, so it's number 4. This is assimilation. That is combining it, using the nitrate to form parts of the body, to bring it into the cell. Okay, then animals and plants, right? They don't live forever. So when they die, number 5, the protein that is in the cell will undergo decomposition. So when they decompose, when they die, they decompose because of bacteria, by bacteria. So they will form ammonium ion. They'll be converted back to ammonium. Okay, now you see there's a cycle here. All right, from the ammonium, it turns into nitrite, nitrite to nitrate, and then plants, animals, and then back into ammonium. So you can see there's a small little cycle here. All right, conversion back to the original substance. And this is decomposition. So lastly, there has to be another process that converts your nitrate back into nitrogen. If there isn't, you will find that all the nitrogen that is in the air, the atmospheric nitrogen, will become less and less and less. It will be depleted one day. because you do not have a process that will bring this nitrate or nitrogen back into the air. So if you have that, it will complete the cycle. So this cycle will keep on carrying on for thousands of years and millions of years to come. Right? So you have to have another process that can actually break down the nitrate and convert it back into nitrogen. So it completes the cycle actually. This process is known as denitrification. Denitrification means it's the opposite of nitrification. That means breaking down the nitrate back into the atmospheric form. Okay, so I'll give you the details now. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because you need that to write. Now you just understand, but you may not be able to write. Okay, so I'll give you the details. Let's look at number 1. Yeah, now you see the overall picture. All you need are these 6 processes. Particularly for biology, you just need to explain 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 and 2 also is to convert nitrogen into nitrate, but it doesn't come into the scope of biology because it does not involve cells, it doesn't involve bacteria, it's not living, it's not organic, and it doesn't involve any organic life. Okay, it is actually a natural process. One is a chemical process. Okay, let's look at atmospheric nitrogen fixation. The first one. So this is number 1, right? The one that I've shown you here. So actually nitrogen, when lightning occurs, when there's lightning, it has enough energy to combine actually nitrogen and oxygen to produce nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide undergoes further oxidation to produce nitrogen dioxide. Now, you don't need to talk about this, but it may help you in your chemistry, who knows, right? To know about the actual process. And then your nitrogen dioxide, which is in the air, is the gas in the air, it dissolves in the water vapor, dissolves in H2O water vapor. You will get nitrous acid and also nitric acid. Okay, 2 types of acid. And when it rains, right, these kind of gases, they will dissolve in the rain, right, in the water vapor. So when it rains, you have this nitrous acid and nitric acid. It will rain down onto the ground, onto the soil, and it comes into contact with calcium or potassium salts in the soil. You will get potassium nitrite or calcium nitrite or potassium nitrate or calcium nitrate. So there you see that lightning helps to produce or convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. Okay, so that's 1. All right, done. Now number 2, this is man-made process, industrial nitrogen fixation. So like I said, right, this is a man-made process discovered by a scientist by the name of Haber. So what he did was he found that there was a way to make ammonia by combining nitrogen and hydrogen. Okay, this is the Haber process. You may have learned it in chemistry. Okay, so ammonia will be used to produce urea and also fertilizer. And fertilizer, remember, it always contains nitrate, ammonium nitrate and potassium nitrate. So this fertilizer is, containing nitrate is very good for the soil. It enriches the soil and the plant will be able to produce protein. So the plant will grow healthily, beautifully, because there's nitrate in the fertilizer. Okay, that's number 2. Now we go to number 3. Now this is what you need for biology. Okay, remember to talk about this in your explanation on nitrogen cycle. Biological nitrogen fixation. Okay, what actually happens here? There is, this one, I'm talking about the number 3, this first part here. Atmospheric nitrogen is converted into ammonium first. Okay, who does this job? Who does the job of converting your atmospheric nitrogen into ammonium? Okay, so they are done by microorganisms. Okay, a group of microorganisms. They are called nitrogen fixing bacteria. This is a general name. But in order to score, in order to write a good essay, which requires the marks and all that, please remember and memorize the name of the bacteria. It may not be good enough. It may not be adequate enough for you just to say nitrogen fixing bacteria. They may need you to say the name of the bacteria. So be extra safe, all right? Play it safe, remember the name. So actually 2 types of bacteria that carries out this process of nitrogen fixation. There are 2 types. One is symbiotic. Symbiotic means they live together with another plant. Actually, they are found in the one part of the plant. Okay, and another group is free living. That means it's not symbiotic. It doesn't have to rely on another plant to live together and so on. It is free living. It lives alone in the soil. So the first group, symbiotic one, is called Rhizobium species. Remember the name, spell it correctly, underline. Okay, Rhizobium, as you know, you handwritten, you have to underline, and SP dot. You don't need the species name. You just need the genus name. Okay, so Rhizobium is the bacteria that is found in the root of the pokok kacang. Pokok kacang is the leguminous plants. That means plants that are considered as beans, okay, beans, bean group, right? Or the groundnuts, right? Nuts or bean nut, right? For example, groundnuts, you have the all the beans, long beans, your whatever beans are there, your French beans and all that, soya bean and all that. So in the root of this soya bean plant or the legume plants, there are nodules, and the rhizobium lives inside there. Okay, so it's actually they are symbiotic. Symbiotic means I help you, you help me, I give you benefit, you also benefit me. So rhizobium makes the soil rich by converting nitrogen into ammonium. All right, and then the plant can get the ammonium. Okay, can get the nitrate also to use for their to sort of fertilize, sort of like make the soil rich. Okay, and as in sort of like as a reward, right? You know, I benefit, mutual benefit. So they have mutualism. The plant will give shelter to the bacteria. Okay. Now, free living, the other group is free living. Remember these names: Azotobacter, Nostoc, and Avena. These are the bacteria which are free living. So the only one that is symbiotic with the legume plant is pokok kacang, it is only Rhizobium. The rest, Azotobacter, Nostoc, and Avena, they are free living. Okay, so it lives in the soil, and what do? They convert nitrogen into ammonium ions. Okay, so it's halfway, not yet until nitrate. So we carry on. Now, further from there, ammonium. All right, now we look at the bottom part here. How is ammonium converted into nitrate? Two processes. Number one, you need another group of bacteria. They are called nitrifying bacteria. But again, I told you, please remember the name of the bacteria. This is actually Nitrosomonas. The Nitrosomonas is the bacteria that converts. Okay, this is how it looks like. Nitrosomonas converts ammonium into nitrite, NO2 minus. Okay, this process is called nitrification. This process is nitrification. All right, and then it's not the end of the process yet. Nitrite has to be converted into nitrate form. Okay, and this requires another type of bacteria called Nitrobacter. Nitrobacter, okay, is a bacteria. This is rod shape, bacteria, bacillus shape. So this one, Nitrobacter NO2 minus, is the nitrite converted into nitrate. Okay, so nitrite into nitrate by Nitrobacter. This process is also known as nitrification. All right, okay. So a lot of students find it difficult because they don't understand each of the processes. So all you need to do is draw the diagram. All right, sort of go through the 6 processes, especially 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then go through it again and again. Memorize. If the question does come out, you will do beautifully because there's nothing came out about this. Everything is factual. If you can reproduce this in your essay, you will score maximum marks. Okay, so this is nitrification. So now we go to number 4 now. Okay, number 3 is done. So now you have nitrate. How is nitrate absorbed? Is used by the plant. So number 4 is through assimilation. So the plant absorbs it through the roots. Okay, so now we're looking at number 4 now. Okay, this part of the process. Assimilation. Nitrates are absorbed by the plants through the roots, all right? To be used to synthesize, is to make proteins and nucleic acid. So that's why we need the nitrate. This plant cannot absorb nitrogen even though there are 78% of it in the air. Okay, so much. But they can't use it. They need to be, the plant needs it to be converted into nitrate. Okay, then, now when the plant already produced protein, right? When the plants are eaten by animals, for example, the cow eats the grass, the nitrogen that is already inside the protein will be transferred into the protein of the animal. So the animal gets protein because they are eating the protein of the plant. Okay, so the animal now makes protein. Protein is used to produce the to make the muscles, okay, all the cells in the body and so on. So protein in the plant is transferred or transferred to the animal tissue. You get protein in animals. Okay, that's how your animal gets protein. Always through the plant. We can't make protein ourselves. Okay, next, decomposition. So animals, when they die, plants, when they die, they undergo decomposition, okay, because of bacteria in the soil and of course fungi as well, okay. So decomposition, so when the animal and the plants die, the protein is still in the tissue. The protein which contains nitrogen is still in the tissue, right? But it's in amino acid form. So what happens is they will undergo decomposition. The amino acid, first of all, protein first broken down into amino acid, and amino acid will be broken down into ammonium. Okay, so you will have conversion back to ammonium. So this is done by fungi, okay, various types of fungus which is in the soil, and also a group of bacteria called saprophytic bacteria. It's important for you to use the word saprophytic because not all bacteria can carry out this job of decomposition. Some bacteria are autotrophic. Some bacteria make their own food, okay, but this group of bacteria that does the job of decomposition has to be saprophytic. So that's why you need to write the name saprophytic. It may not be enough for you to just write bacteria. Fungi, you don't need to say saprophytic because all fungi are saprophytic. Okay, so fungi, comma, saprophytic bacteria. They carry out the job of decomposition. All right, okay. So this process of converting into ammonium is called ammonification. Simple to remember, easy because ammonium, then you get ammonification. All right, okay. So we're done with number 5. Okay, we have one more to do. All right. So now your ammonium will undergo the same process again to be converted into nitrite by nitrosomonas, and then nitrite converted back to nitrate by nitrobacter. You see, it's a full cycle. You get back nitrate, right? Nitrate then broken down, absorbed by the plant and animals. You get protein. So when they die, they decompose back into ammonium, and then it converts back into nitrate. Okay, so you get a loop there. You get a sort of a cycle there. Okay, lastly, you need to see an important cycle also, an important process, which is denitrification. You need to have something to convert back the nitrate that you have bound. You have already ikat. You ikat all the nitrogen in the elemental form, in the nitrogen, into these compound that are called nitrate. If you do not have a process that can return it back into nitrogen, you will find that nitrogen in the air will be becoming less and less and less, and all of it will be converted into nitrate in the soil. Then one day your nitrogen in the air will be zero, okay, because it keeps on one way only, converting nitrogen gas into nitrate. You can't have a two-way process. A cycle is always a two-way process. You have to convert it back to the original, the other substance. Okay, so now we talk about number 6, which is denitrification. It's a process that's opposite of nitrification. You break down the nitrate back into nitrogen in the gaseous state. Okay, so the denitrifying bacteria, there's a group of bacteria called denitrifying bacteria, are able to produce to carry out this function. All right, so nitrate is converted back into nitrogen gas. Okay, so there you have already learned the nitrogen cycle. This is all you need to talk about. Okay, how you get from nitrogen into nitrate, what happens and so on, what are the bacteria that is involved, and ultimately how this nitrate is converted back into nitrogen. That's all you have to say about nitrogen cycle. Okay, so you need to remember each of the processes and especially the name of the bacteria. Very, very, very important. Okay, you will find all the questions, past year questions and all that. They always stress there will be questions on the name. Nitrobacter, Nitrosomonas, which is the correct one. So don't remember the wrong thing. All right, okay? So I see there's no comment here. Probably there's nobody here. All right, it's all right, it's fine. So if you need to, maybe most of you will see it later. So if you need to contact me, all right, if you want me to help you to answer some questions, so please do so. I will give you my Telegram name or username. So you can contact me anytime and I'll be most happy to help you. All right, to understand your biolessons. Okay, right. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, you are here. Okay, howdy. Okay, howdy. Howdy, cowboy. Cowboy say howdy. Okay, so thanks for watching. Yeah, if you have any questions, so please let me know. And you can, maybe you want to help your friends, you find it useful, please share the link and let them know that I will do my class from time to time on Saturdays at 4 o'clock, okay? Depending on whether I have time to make the slides. Okay, so see you next lesson. Okay, bye-bye. And I'm looking forward to your questions. Okay, bye-bye. See you. Thank you. See you again.